All right, we're live now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to screen share to everybody. And we are going to talk about XMLs and a little bit of why it is beneficial for you in your video office. So XMLs provide about 25 columns worth of data when you get them raw. When you get them from your SID and you run them through the Stat Crew XML to CSV converter, you have about 25 columns of data. I'll pull up I'll load one here from my desktop. I've got an XML folder here. And you can actually customize what folders or what headings you see. I just use the standard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to setup, okay? And right here is where you will select what side of ball you want to work on first, okay? I've pulled up Minnesota's offense, so I'm just going to leave the checkbox marked under offense. And under included, these are the columns that are included, and that is the order that they will be spit out into a CSV. So it's a comma delimited file. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit apply and done, and then I'm going to click build CSV. Okay, this is the initial thing that you get up. You can display it as a text, which is just a notepad file. I've never played well in Notepad, so I always display it as a spreadsheet. So it's going to open up in Excel, and immediately I've got this Excel sheet. I typically use two computers. When I'm on the road, I use one, and I just I use the windows and lock them separately. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, and I'm just going to generally look for things like there will be on a special team. It's going to show up within your offensive or defensive XML, and it's going to show up either as KOR or PR. Okay, those automatically can come out just right off the bat. So I'll scroll through and see if we have any, like right here, 51. I'm going to highlight at 51. I'm going to right click. I'm going to delete it. Shifts everything up. Now to renumber, I'm going to select two cells above it that have the correct numbering order. And then you see how this little box is darker. I don't know what the best way to put it other than your cross goes from white to black. Hold and drag down, and it will renumber your clips. Okay, see, so it went to 68. So now I've got 68 clips. I don't know if I've got 68 plays. I might not. I leave timeouts in. Me personally, I leave timeouts in. So if there's a timeout in there, that might screw up what you have. So I actually have 68 items, which is a shocker. But what I'll do then is I will start at play 10, and I'm going to look every 10 plays. I'll wait. We're waiting for Thunder to load the video here. But I'll look at every 10 plays and see if my down and distance matches. So the first thing I'm going to look for is to see if it's 2nd and 1 on the 41. Okay. Yeah.
What if the scoreboard's not right?
So the question is, what if the scoreboard's not right? Next thing I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and I will go ahead and I will let the video play, or I'll do whatever I've got to do to advance to the next angle. I'm going to look on the field to see where the ball is. The difficult part is when you get into a no-huddle team. Chris, I had this problem with you. I'm talking to Chris at Texas Tech. I had this problem with you a little bit where you get a no-huddle team, 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10. That play number, that second and 10 might be your play 20. You can't see the box to know if it's 2nd and 10. The scoreboard, you don't know if it's accurate. Okay, so that at that point, I go a couple more plays down to see if I can catch a actual first down. Right, or run the play. So 2nd and 1, this should be 2nd and 1 from the 41. Normally, if I just see this right off the bat, I say it's good. What you can do is let it run. See if they run the play. They've run the play. Good. Okay, I'm going to go down 10 plays now. I'm going to 20. I look at 20, 1st and 10 from the 48. I got 1st and 10 from the 48. Woohoo! I'm good to go. So now I keep going through, and every 10, I'll go through like that. I'm going to go to Wisconsin here in a second to see if I can find a timeout one. But what I do is I do take columns out at the end. So I'll show you what I do for that. So I had in the past taken out play number. Play number is one that we have discussed to exchange as part of the CSVA, NCAA heading group. So now I'm going to start importing play number. I keep drive number, which is one of the ones that we have, drive play. I'll keep all this in. I delete this, which is has ball. Home team has the ball, but honestly, you should know who has the ball. Yeah. And I delete the narrative because it's a lot of characters, and your people probably don't care about what the narrative is. So I just go ahead and I right-click and I delete. At that point, you'll want to click Save As on this file, because and tell it where you want it to go, because otherwise it's going to go to the standard default, which is it's in the C drive, TAS, reports. So you got to drill down. If you set up where you want it to go right off the bat through Save As, then you won't have to necessarily go searching for what you're looking for. So that's because I do this for all games because I want more data than what we're exchanging at the NCAA level. Let me pull up the NCAA headings as I have them. So along the bottom here, starting here at play number, is what we had talked about as conference reps. So for the Big Ten, I was conference rep. I don't know if we had an independent conference rep, Earl. Sorry. Is it Army? Okay. We did have conference reps from every FBS conference as far as talking about. Sorry, James. As far as talking about who to or what columns we wanted to do. So we decided play number because in DB Sport, play number was one that you guys needed. We decided series was something that was important because of P and 10s. So P and 10, for those that don't know, is the start of the possession. What is the first play at the start of the possession? This next one is series sequence. So that's play number of the drive. Quarter, down, distance, field position. This RPK field for me, it's run pass. So whether it was a run, whether it was a pass, if there's a penalty will show up in that column. The gain, what the gain was on the play. The pass result, so if there was a pass, was it incomplete, was it complete, or was it an interception? Pretty simple. And then series end. How did the series end? Touchdown, interception, fumble, field goal, turnover on downs. I think field goal miss was one of them. 2-point punt. I think we covered end of game, end of half. So we went back and forth. There were a lot of us that went a lot of rounds on this because of we thought that we had to have one file to match both video files. No, you want to have the whole thing. I know I'm jumping around here a little bit. The whole metamorphosis of the NCAA, the CSVA recommended exchange was so that when I go and play Chris at Texas Tech in a bowl game, I can say, all right, we're going to go 12 for 12. I'm going to give you 12 games. I'm going to get his 12 games. And then I'm also, let's trade data files. Okay, you give me yours, I'll give you mine, And then we've already got these, whatever is 10 to 13 columns worth of data as a start point for our GAs and quality control guys. It's a jumping off point. Now I might just because it's whatever Sunday night at 10 or 11 o'clock, by the time I get all your film in, that might be my starting point, but then I'm going to go back and do it again to do the data. We just felt like this was an important thing. The other thing is non-conference. If I'm going to play James, if I'm going to play Earl, I can easily it's an easier way to do data. You know, I'm getting calls already in December to do film exchanges, and you know, it seems like it's earlier and earlier every year. But already in January, you can be done with your first four opponents in a day once you do your exchange and the data. So that was kind of the jumping off point. And why help your GAs or quality control guys? Why not? Isn't it? We're here to help help our teams advance, save them time, right? So if it takes me 5 minutes to do this, and it takes your GA or quality control guy 30 minutes to do it, and it takes you 5 minutes to do a whole game, you just saved your team 55 minutes worth of planning for the next week on one, and that's just for one game. So and you multiply that out by, yeah.
And you get to go home earlier, they get to go home earlier.
Right.
We're not home enough as it is, so people have paid.
And if you're going to be there anyway. So what I'm going to do here while we kind of keep talking is I'm going to see if I got another game here that is a better example. I didn't prepare well enough. I apologize for that.
And Matt, let me ask you about the play result. We were talking about complete, incomplete, interception, things like that. What about
so that's just
scrambles and stuff like that? Do we come up with what we're going to do that or not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
If it's there as that, that's fine. But that was just completely like pass result. I'm just looking for run pass, RPI. Sorry, for under run pass. I'm just looking for RP pass result because to me it's not play result. It's pass result. Yeah, I'm just looking for. I think we agreed that it was PIINT, and that was it. And then if your guys break it down that far in the exchange and it comes with a sack or a scramble, I think then that if it needs to be changed, then it needs to be changed at that point. I think that's what we agreed upon. So we'll look at this one also. I went ahead and spread that apart. So right off the bat, what do you guys see? I mean, I can see it in the first 30 columns here, or 30 rows. Yep. So I'm automatically going to take that one out and just delete it. Yes.
Did you get the 15 minutes up there a lot like that?
Sure. Sock. So in the NFL, every play is whatever the time was at the start of the play. Okay. For us, it's whatever the clock is at the start of the drive. And if you see here, this is the clock right before the score. They won't do it before a punt, but it'll be clock before a score. I know it doesn't make sense, and maybe it's something that needs to be addressed with Stat Crew, but for right now, this is how it comes in. So it kind of just.
So
go ahead.
Each one of those segments, there's a drive, basically.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, DJ kind of brought up a good thing right there. So each one of these is a drive. So the drive ends here and starts here if you didn't want to look at drive number. Okay. I'm going to drag on 11 and 12 because it jumps to 14. I'm going to drag. Oh, sorry about that. Drag it down. Oh, son of a gun. Another game that matched right up. Sorry about this, guys. It's how it should always work, but yeah. So there are guys where you see it work out more and better is for guys that go through and do take timeouts. Their coaches want them to take timeouts out of that stuff, and I leave them in. I've always left them in. So yeah, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get a consistency. That was the one thing when we started talking is, well, my coaches want timeouts in. Well, mine want them out. Mine don't want to see any of that stuff. Well, mine actually put data in everything pre-snap, and so it varied. So it really varies kind of across the board. Let me see if I can pull another one up here.
My coaches want to watch a cut up of the timeouts.
Really?
They do run pass, no plays. They don't cut up for no plays. They don't cut up for timeouts. Cut up for penalties.
I know, right? That's all we have. We don't build for how many plays.
All right, we'll blow through this one here real quick then. See if there's anything. Didn't see anything weird to start. Okay, so I've got 71 plays of XML and I've got 74 plays of video, 74 plays. Probably somewhere. So I'm going to start at 10, and forgive me for Nebraska's scoreboard being difficult to read and it being a little bit smaller up there. But it says 2nd and 4 from the 49 on there. And here it's 2nd and 3 from the 48. It's a yard. And if you look at anything around it, the one before is 1st and 10 from the 45, and the next one's 1st and 10 from the plus. The scoreboard was close. I've talked to our scoreboard people. I say, I want it quick and close. It doesn't have to be perfect. So that's what I've told them. I'll go ahead and fast forward. I'll make sure that the ball is snapped. Okay. Ball snapped. Nobody is stopped. There's a play. Okay. I'm going to move down to 20. And 20 should be 3rd and 6. I look at the scoreboard. It says 2nd and 6. Whoa, red flag here. At this point, I'm going to go back 5 plays. So I'm going to go back to 15. 15 is 3rd and 5. Well, it's not 3rd and 5. It's 1st and 1 from the 1. So something's going on. So I'm going to go back. Hey, I got 3rd and 5 here. I bet this is a timeout. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play it. I'm going to fast forward. What happened here? Not sure. Let's go ahead and look at this one then. Scoreboard was wrong initially. The first frame of scoreboard was wrong. 3rd and 5. Now it's 1st and 1. Okay, fast forward, make sure. So at this point, I am just going to go play by play until I figure out where I'm off. So 1st and 10 from the 9. 2nd and 6 from the 14. Oh, there's 2 2nd and 6s. So at this point, I'm going to go through. I wonder if the scoreboard was wrong. Possibly. Because it's 3rd and 6. Hang on. Yeah. 2nd 5 and 14. Okay, here we go. So the play is run, right? Look right here. Got an official coming in. Right here, officials coming in. So the play was blown dead. There was some kind of timeout. I'll go ahead. And on row 18 is play 17. Right click, insert. I now have a blank play, okay? I'm going to still drag, drop the play numbers in. Now they've re-auto-populated. And that I leave that line myself, I leave it blank. That way, when my GAs or quality control guys go in, they can say, okay, this is a blank play. What do I need to do to this? What kind of data needs to be added to this play? Do I want to add any data to this play? It was a no play of some sort, timeout, replay, something. So kind of going along those lines. But I wanted to at least show you from the timeout perspective how to do that. Does anybody have any questions at this point? No. I know Chris did this for DV Sport, right?
I would do, well, I
Well, no, I'm saying Chris Luke did it in the DV Sport meeting. Okay. Am I missing anything that he has said? I mean, you guys doing it the same way, pretty much.
It's pretty much the exact same. I mean,
Okay. Okay. Just ask me, and I'll send it to you via Dragonfly.
I still have one to send.
Okay. They do have a 64-bit that just came out this year, 64-bit installer. For most of us that I think, well, now when Exos uses anyway, we have to be 64-bit, so there's a 64-bit installer for this. There's a 32-bit, that's why it started. You could use an XP mode on a 32-bit or on a 64-bit machine with 32-bit. The XML to CSV converter.
And Matt, can
Yeah.
you go back to the actual interface of that program?
Yeah,
Just kinda show us
sure.
How you set up what you chose.
By default, it comes with default headings. So right off the bat, it comes with the columns that are in the left-hand side.
So the ones on the left, the ones that are shown on the spreadsheet.
Yeah, by default. The ones in the center you can add them, but only if the data is provided. Tony, I don't know, have you gone as far as the home and visitor score with your stuff? We can see if it shows up. I want to say that it isn't populated in here. Yeah, there it is. It is populated. So if you wanted to, you could even go as far as adding the score. Current score of the game. But it would be home score, road score. So if you wanted to go that far.
and within that program, I think Celia said you could modify names of either the columns or what the data turns out to. Like, for example, if someone has, like, if we like say someone does have they put down SAC or something like that, you could change it from a certain
SAC to S.
Yeah, to S, right?
Sure.
Or if you have another letter for it, like you can do all that in there too before you make the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
You can have it change.
Yes.
Replace the data.
Yep. Anybody else have any questions or things that I've missed for people that have worked through it? James?
So if you're on the road, like, and you get the XML,
Mhm.
you know, the team, it's just going to show like whoever's the home team, like they're on offense or they're on defense.
Okay, so when we go back through it, the question is when you're on the road, how do you tell with offense and defense? So when I load my play-by-play, I double click on the XML. I'm going to go to setup, and right in here, whatever the code is for your team, if it's NAU, and you come down to, I'm just going to say, for example, you come down to play Arizona State, and their code might be ASU. So NAU, ASU. So it's this is where OSU is in this column. This is from that team's perspective. Their offense, their defense, special teams. If you go as far as special teams, the one thing I've learned, I don't do special teams myself, is you have to put a check in both boxes for the full special teams to show up. And then because it comes through when you do an exchange, kickoff return, you have to sort that also. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just one of the tools the program itself is a little cumbersome at times. The tool is just to read the XML file that it's putting out. One thing I recommend is if you guys are not doing XMLs right now is to talk to your SIDs, your sports information directors. Let them know what you're doing, what you're wanting to do. I give my the second SID that comes with us. She's in charge of stats. So anything after the game, getting the stat books, getting jump drive. I hand her a jump drive generally on Friday night. So here you go. Make sure I get it back on Saturday. And then I get the I get the drive back for on Saturday after the game on the bus. The one thing is you want to make sure you specify you get an XML and not, oh gosh, I forgot the other file that comes out. Tony, you don't know, do you? There's another file that'll come out of there that it's the full game file. So what's that? No, it's a stat crew file that your SID can then import and make an XML for you if need be. I've had to do that before too. FPK file. Yeah, I believe it's an FPK file. If you get that, give it to your SID, they should be able to turn around for you pretty quick. So it's just a matter of making sure. As far as you'll need to ask your opponent. At the FBS level, we have college press box. So it's collegepressbox.com. And you can click on a conference USA. Guess what, guys? The password is CSVA in caps. Or the username CSVA in caps. The password, all lowercase. It's football. Don't tell anybody. Okay? So go ahead and log in. You can look week by week, and you can click on XML. When you click on XML, this is what you'll get. Okay? Just do a Control S, which is save. Save the file. You can rename the file to whatever you want to name it. And then you can open up in the XML converter tool.
So I noticed on there it said FCS. Is that?
It brings up the conference. I haven't seen an XML under the FCS. We can try it though.
Just be the directory of schools. You have to go to each school and see what there's available.
Okay.
They just have a final game book for the championship game.
It was a long.
So it's
Saw the logo, I got excited.
sure. So this is an independent group that's collecting all this data. Generally speaking, they have it up by 1 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. That's not always the case. Especially in the non-conference, it tends to be a lot later. So I know for Big Ten, our rule is we exchange the data files as we agreed upon, which this year we took the CSVA recommended exchange files in addition to the XML, correct? Okay, so that's what we exchange. What your conference, you guys I'm sure have discussed what you guys want to do data-wise within your conference as far as heading groups. But we as a group, we were represented by Jake Stroot, was presented at AFCA that said these are what we recommend as the data headings groups, and the head coaches or the coaches that were there, the head coaches, basically said, yes, this is a great idea. So your coaches are aware of it. They probably have forgotten about it by now, to be honest with you. But it's a matter of how far you want to go as far as helping your staff out in that way.
When we do both in the Big Ten of CSV for text and XML, just because certain schools like Matt likes to work with the XML and the CSV for text file, where you can either import it straight in, or if you really want to go through, make sure you know it's correct yourself.
And to Tony's point a little bit, it's not even that for me. It's I want more data than what we're exchanging. Mike Maples just walked in. Mike, I almost used your film for example. I forgot to check out the database. Yeah. So, does anybody else have questions? I know DV Sport, you guys import Excel files, yes? CSV files, okay. Huddle, I believe, can import Excel files. Okay. So I think we've got most of the platforms covered as far as that goes. Does anybody have any questions?
So now that we have all this guidelines, but just what we recommend doing now is just up to this conference to get everyone on board. Again, we've all talked about it, but just talking to everyone, like, hey, we still want to do this.
Yeah. It is up to the conference level. We have it written. Well, it will be written into our Big Ten. Will be written into our game policy manual. It's up to each conference how you want to approach it. If you guys have had an agreement in the past that we're going to exchange, 5 columns worth of data, that's fine. But what we're saying is for exchange, when you go to exchange with Dory, that these are the columns that we suggest that you exchange and have that template, easily available. And that way, yep, Dory, you want my files, I'll give you this. And that even goes to as far as NFL film. You could do the same thing with their stuff too, because it's also available to you. Not that I would ever do that, but and you can work their stuff up in a similar way. Have any of you guys seen any of their files? I don't have any with me, but what I can tell you is that from the Dub Center, once you take their files, their text files, it's they're not Jesus files actually. They're GSI files, but they're text files. Okay. And so what it is you're getting an Excel doc and you're getting offense, defense, and kicks all in one. It's still coming up with 3 sheets though, so you're going to want to separate that out. Most of the time you're good. When you look at the file size, and this is the one thing that I've seen, and all you got to do is contact the Dub Center if you see it. If it's a 1K file, it's a dead file. You're not going to get anything out of it. If it is sorry, you're looking at my face up on the screen now. If it is 42K, 38K, as long as it's bigger than 1K, that's going to be the data. And it's then ciphering down from there what data you want. I'll be happy for anybody that wants, I can email you what the headings are. There was a email that went out a while ago with what heading matched what it was, because theirs don't come with a heading on top. Play one's in row 1, as opposed to ours where it comes with a heading group, where row 1 is the heading group. So, anybody else have any more questions? Nope. All right. Hopefully we were informative to some people. The next session is Mary, I believe, right? 1 o'clock? Yep. So you got 20 minutes. So enjoy your 20 minutes, guys.